You never know. Okay, yes, preparing to live stream the meeting to YouTube. So we'll be able to say thank you and good evening to everybody on YouTube as well in just a moment. Fantastic. Right, we got a lovely quiz for you. Never know this evening. Yes, we're definitely coming through. That's good. We don't want two of me there. We'll be able to say thank you and good evening to everybody. Marvelous. Okay, so folks, if you don't want to be seen on YouTube, let me just say that to you. Then put your and I'll put the speaker view up, so that's not so you're not seen pouring copious glasses of red wine. Let's say a few hellos then. Peter, hello. Good evening to you.
Hello, Carl.
Oh, hi. Hello, both of you. Good evening. How are you? It's been a long time.
Yeah, good.
Very good.
I'm outside.
Where are you guys?
We are.
Yeah. I will
Well, let me show you.
Oh, we're gonna have a quick tour. This is
Well,
fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be somewhere really warm.
Oh, look! Is it a cruise?
Yeah.
No, it's freezing actually. We are on a boat
On
from
a boat.
Lisbon to New York.
Oh,
Yeah,
check you out.
Oh, cool.
Somewhere there.
Oh my word!
Is the boat called Titanic?
I was wondering, Peter, paint me like one of your French girls. How incredible! The signal's not that brilliant.
He's on a boat.
He's on a boat. Yes. All right. So thank you, Peter. We can't really hear you, but that is fantastic. On a boat from Lisbon to New York for Christmas, by the sound of it. That's wonderful. Jacqueline, where are you this evening? Thank you for joining us.
Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, everybody.
Sorry.
Rio de Janeiro. Okay. Paul to the North Pole.
I think
I'm sick of this now already. Yes, yeah. But Jerry, aren't you fed up with this now?
Yes, I'm in my house, Carl.
Yes, me too. I'm in my house as well. Oh, Jacqueline, so lovely to see you. Fantastic.
Maybe you both have great houses, so that's why you guys stay there.
Maybe that's why we stay
Must
there.
be.
Yes.
Must be.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
How are you? Tudo bem?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm happy to be here. Brazilians are lovely. It's warm. It's 30 degrees. It doesn't feel Christmassy at all. I was, yeah. So I left the Netherlands and it was -6. So coming to 30 was quite a nice warm surprise.
Oh, how lovely for you. Okay,
Yeah.
well, lovely to see you this evening. Thank you for being here. Nuno as well, with your lovely Christmas tree. How are you this evening, sir? We're waiting for Nuno to unmute. Hello, Andrea. And hello, Andrea in Houston. Great to see you, Andrea. Please shout out, folks, in the chat where you are this evening. Lovely to see your greetings and see your Christmas greetings as well. Feliz Natal Todos from Denise. Thank you. And we'll definitely, probably until we get to the quiz, we'll probably just keep the mics closed just for the sake of being able to hear the questions. But we'll definitely have a drink and a party after the quiz is finished and everyone gets a chance to chat then, which will be great. Marion, Austin, Texas. Laurie, just in my house as well, but lots of palm trees outside. Nice one, Laurie. Nice.
Okay.
Emoji.
Okay. We have to know, where are the palm trees, Carl?
Yes, where are those palm trees, Laurie? Ben, Merry Christmas from Louisiana. Great to see you here, Ben. Thank you for being here. We wondered for a moment where you were with your backdrop there, but that's what Louisiana looks like. Paul, Merry Christmas from Alvor, not the North Pole, snowing at my place. I hope you're okay, Paul, there, with that interesting open plan kitchen ceiling of yours. Everything okay there?
Yeah, no roof, so we can see the stars.
Oh, good on you. Well done. Bonnie, happy holiday, everyone. Have a fabulous glass of Douro. That's wonderful. No adult beverages here at this time. So, at this time of day or as a sort of chronological reference right here, right now?
At this time of day.
Oh, at this time of day. Okay. Yes, we should have perhaps put that in the
afternoon in Louisiana.
Okay. Not 5 o'clock yet. We won't even see 5 o'clock, will we? Whilst we're here this evening with you. But it's a special occasion, maybe, Ben. But although we do mean we must encourage responsible drinking. Thank you so much for being here. Have a nice cup of tea, maybe. Merry Christmas from Marion. Anna, how's Kashkai's looking? How are you? You look a little bit like Bjork, may I say.
Everything is fine, although a lot of rain.
Yes, that
recently.
Is true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's not 360 days of sunshine this year. No.
No, it would appear not. Well, 300 days of sunshine, 65 of rain.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, and continuous, it sometimes feels like. Thank you for being here, Anna. You have a little bit of an advantage with the quiz tonight.
Yeah.
Monica, Merry Christmas. Feliz Natal, todos as well. Superb. And did we find out where those? Those palm trees are in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello from Baltimore. Havley Taylor as well. Stephanie and Gerald in upstate New York. Snowstorm tonight. Keep warm, folks, but very festive, obviously. Peter, from the Atlantic, somewhere between LX and NYC. Check you two out. Amazing. And too early here too. But there will be hot chocolate with Bailey's Irish cream tonight. Good for you, Laurie. That sounds wonderful. And Lynn, extremely wet, Johannesburg, South Africa. Good evening from you, Lynn. Lovely to have you here. And did we get to Nunu? Are you able to speak to us, Nunu, yet? With your lovely crimbo tree there? Well, I think we'll have to come back to you later.
Hi, good evening.
Oh, hello. What a lovely backdrop.
I had the micro muted. That's all. So sorry for that.
Not at all. Oh,
good evening all.
How are you? How are you?
All good. Dry.
Yes.
That is important.
Yes, very
After
good.
last weekend, so dry.
Yes. Oh, so glad to hear it. So, yeah, stay safe there in Lisbon. Thank you for being here tonight, Nuno. Also an advantage with a Portuguese culture and Christmas quiz. And it's very biblical, isn't it? We have a king here as well. Daniel Reyes is here. Good evening to you, Daniel.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm quite all right with a different backdrop today. I'm at home and I got food poisoning yesterday, so it wasn't fun.
Oh, no.
I'm recovering.
Okay. Which restaurant do we need to avoid? No,
I won't tell the name of the restaurant, but it's nearby the office, and it wasn't fun. Let's say that my past night it wasn't fun.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Making a note, Daniel. Don't go for lunch next time I visit Daniel. Right? Okay.
Correct.
And
I'll take you somewhere nice, Jerry. Don't worry.
I've got to say, magnificent beard, Daniel.
Yes, it's growing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I'm going to be Santa Claus this year.
Well, I was going to say, if you put a little bit of talcum powder in that bad boy, you're going to be proper Santa, aren't you? That's magnificent. Magnificent.
It's growing, yeah, but I'll cut it before Christmas party. It's too much now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, mistletoe and a big bushy beard sometimes don't go together, do they? It's not everybody's taste anyway. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being here. And to anyone else I may have missed this evening who wants to say hi, we'll come back to you and keep those comments coming in the chat. Nice festive cheer this evening. Should we get underway? I'm going to keep letting people in as well. We're still letting people in to the back of the room. Should we get underway with the quiz, Jerry?
Yeah, my screen sharing is disabled again, Carl.
Oh dear!
You keep pressing those buttons.
Yes, I had to do something, didn't I? Oh, it was YouTube. It was YouTube doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do I press here? What happens, Portuguese people? If I press "Desde cá para todos pessoas," is that a bad thing? It looks like it won't be. Jerry, I think you might. Oh, okay.
I'll have to reclaim the hosting. Hang on.
I can do it. I can do it. There you go. There you are.
Let's try. Yes,
yeah,
that looks good. That looks good. Okay.
Don't get Zoom in Portuguese, folks. It's a little tip from me.
Okay. Can everybody see that?
We can. We can see Santa walking down a Lisbon street. Oh no, on the beach. I mean.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah. Okay, right. Pens and paper ready, everyone. Some of you might recognize some of the questions in this quiz from previous quizzes, but there's only so many questions you can ask about Christmas in Portugal. So it'll also be a test to see if you were paying attention this time last year. So I'll hand over to you, Carl, and hopefully...
And it is,
there we go.
It is just for fun. We were thinking of making the top prize lunch with Daniel, but it didn't seem like such a good idea. Okay, question. And I am taking coaching, obviously, again on my Portuguese pronunciation. Christmas dinner in Portugal is mainly celebrated on Christmas Eve. What dish is absolutely essential to this occasion? And we will be doing 20 questions and we'll go through them all and then we'll come back to the answers a little bit later on after we've shared a few more messages at half time. So is it A, octopus, polvo? Is it B, peru, turkey and stuffing? Is it C, codfish, bacalhau? Or is it D, plum pudding, which I don't know what that is in Portuguese? So there you go. On Christmas Eve, Christmas dinner, what dish is absolutely essential? Thank you very much, Jerry. Question on there.
Okay.
Lovely spread on the table.
Does look nice. That's my table. That's fairly typical at my house.
That's just breakfast as well there.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Right.
And you may have seen on the table there was one of these. Oh, you can put your guesses in the chat. That's fair enough. And you can put your amusing answers in the chat as well. So thank you everybody who's venturing a guess in the chat. That's great. If you don't know how to pronounce plum pudding, I'm guessing it isn't that. Yes, very good.
Oh, Carl, you've ruined it already.
Yes, one question in and I've messed it up. Happy Christmas. Question dois. In the past, this cake had a gift inside. A small metal object since banned by the EU for safety reasons, and a broad bean. According to tradition, the person who had the slice of cake that contained the bean would have to pay for the cake the following year. What is the name of this cake? Is it the Bolo de Natal? Is it B, death by choking? Is it C, tronco de Natal? Or is it D, Bolorai? Thank you for your guesses there. Very good. It's nice to know.
Actually, very nice it is too. I had a slice of that the other day with my afternoon coffee. It was really good.
Yes. Okay. I'm tempted to say more, but it will give the answer away, won't it? Okay, so that was
probably yes.
A favorite here. This is Baba de Comelo. Question 3, question 3. A common dessert, a sobremesa, of course, in Portugal. The English translation is often shown on the menu as A, camel spit, B, camel drool, C, Carl sneeze in the restaurants of San Martino de Porto, and D, camel tripe or tripas. There, see what I did there, Portuguese friends. So A, camel spit, B, camel drool, C, Carl sneeze, or D, camel tripe there. Question 3. Okay, thank you, Denise, for that. Jerry, do you want to do this one?
Yes, sure.
Look at that fabulous restaurant there.
Yeah, very typical Portuguese, that restaurant, isn't it? Yes. So how do you order the bill or the check in a Portuguese restaurant? Do you make a sign of writing with your hand, the international sign? Do you snap your fingers at the waiter until he comes over? Do you say, a conta, por favor? Or do you say, nostra la conta, por favor? Which of those would you say when you're ordering the bill?
Okay.
I like the snap your fingers one. I think that's the
always goes down well, doesn't it? Wherever you are in the world, that one. The question 4 there. And loving that restaurant. Are those bedpans hanging up in that restaurant there? No, I think that's
no, I don't think so.
Kitchenware, hopefully, in the restaurant there. Thank you then, Jerry, for question 4. Question 5. This is a photo of a famous square named Praça do Comércio. Praça do Comércio. Where is this located? And it's difficult now with the answers coming in the chat because we don't know which question they are referring to. Is it A, Porto? Is it D, Lisboa? B, Lisboa? Is it C, Coimbra? Or is it D, Braga? There. So Praça do Comércio, where is this located? A, Porto, B, Lisboa, C, Coimbra, and D, Braga. And there is a very funny video circulating, I believe, at the moment of the switching on of the lights of this special place this year, which is quite hilarious. Which is I think it was renamed as this particular city's effort to save money at the lighting up event this year. So thank you, Question 5 there. Jerry, should we to and fro then, like Laurel and Hardy or Little and Large, or which?
Sure. So traditionally, when do Portuguese children open their Christmas presents? Do they open them on the morning of December the 25th, or on Christmas Eve, or as soon as they get them, or on January the 6th, which is King's Day, otherwise known as Daniel Day?
There you go, A, B, C, or D. Thank you. Jose Gushman, good evening to you. Thank you very much. That's question 6 then. Question 7, love this place. Question 7. This is a famous food hall in Lisbon with 26 different restaurants, many of them Michelin starred. And I believe both Portugal and Spain are running the gauntlet of Michelin awards just in the last month or so. What famous magazine runs this gourmet market? Is it A, Time Out? Is it B, Playboy? Is it part of the Hefner empire? Is it C, Gastronomica? Or is it D, National Geographic there in Lisbon?
Okay.
26 different restaurants. Fabulous place.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. I love it. And you can, 4 of you can go there and 4 of you can eat 4 different foods and share them. And it's amazing. Really
Best
good.
of everything as well, probably from all around Portugal too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Question 8. The first trams in Lisbon entered service in 1873 and were pulled by horses. The vehicles were named after their point of origin. Were they called, get me on the translation, Londres Caro, Almeria Caro, Americanos, or España Caro?
Okay.
So what were the trams named after? What country did they come from?
Fantastic. Oh, good evening as well to everybody who has joined us on YouTube now. Eric's there. Oregonians loving Portugal too. Lovely to see you there over on YouTube. Thank you for being there. So that's question 8. Londres Caros, Alemania Caros, and the other 2. Question of these statues in Lisbon depict 2 men repairing the pavement. This is done across the country every day, and it is a joy to watch these craftsmen at work. What is the name of this pavement style? And it was in Caldas de Rainha this very afternoon, and I saw what looked like a QR code done in this style. And whether it was or not, I don't know. It didn't seem to stimulate anything on my phone, but it was just exactly like a QR code done in this style. Is it A, calçada, the style? Is it B, cobleiros? Is it C, caminho? Or is it D, rochedos? And you'll tell, I think, from some of the Portuguese folks here laughing, giving you a bit of a clue about what it might be. A, calçada, B, cobleiros, C, caminho, or D, rochedos. Thank you very much for all your guesses as well. No shouting out, please, Paul.
No shouting, Paul.
It's like a pub quiz.
Okay. Yes. So the last question. This is Pena Palace, one of the many beautiful buildings in Sintra. Why is this palace famous? Is it because Astrid owns an apartment there? Did the last Queen of Portugal, Queen Amelia, spend her last night there before leaving the country in exile? Does the President of Portugal live there? Or maybe it's owned by Donald Trump. Which of those do you think is appropriate to Pena Palace?
Right. Quite extraordinary NFT cards released today by one of those people as well. Not Astrid, by the way. Wasn't that extraordinary today? Question 10. Okay.
I presume it wasn't the last Queen of Portugal either.
No, she too not aware of those NFT type cards. So that's question. Oh, it's 10. We haven't got 20. So for those of you who are wishing the quiz was shorter, your prayers have been answered. It's a miracle at Christmas. There you go.
It is.
It was 10 questions. And I was girding my loins for 20 questions there, Jerry. So there we go. Should we have a little pause there and say a few more hellos to people and see if we've got any Christmas messages? Hello? Have I been cut off?
No, we can hear you, Carl.
Okay. I want you to have a little pause at half time here, and people can refresh their cups of tea in North America, and others might want to pour something a little stiffer on this side of the water. Let's see. Oh, look at this, Daniel, very thorough, and that is a sort of thoroughness you can expect from him when you work with him professionally. That's fantastic, Daniel. Anna trying to cause trouble with that particular answer there, I think. Thank you very much, and a few laughs.
Thank you.
A well written and researched quiz. People appreciating it, Jerry, and a few giggles in there as well. Thank you very much. Since I've not been to Portugal, says Ben, this will be educational for me. Yeah, as well as the giggles in there are some useful comments.
That's the point. Yeah,
absolutely. Bad connection here. at the boat. Hope we can keep following. Peter, it sounds wonderful. It looks like you should be drinking cocktails or on the captain's table or something like that. That's a lovely thing to be doing this time of year. And thank you for joining us under the circumstances. Appreciate it. Anybody else want to tell us anything about how they're spending Christmas this year or how your plans are shaping up? We've had some really good news from people who are perhaps thinking that their visa chances were going to be delayed until next year, and a lot of good news coming in of people getting some positive responses with their visas and CEF appointments too, which is fantastic. And Christina, I'm going to raise a glass to this. Finally in Portugal. Christina, maybe we'll talk to you this evening to get your first impressions, and it'll be your second time spending Christmas in Portugal. So it'll be lovely to speak to you after we've had the answers here. Lynn is off to see daughter in UK and going to Scotland. That'll be nice and chilly and possibly snowing over there, Lynn, as well. And Dwight, hello from New Mexico, from Mills and Gale. Good evening to you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's do those answers now.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
Oh, look. Question one then was, what is the essential Christmas dinner in Portugal? And it is the bacalhau, the codfish. Now, I was told just recently that the way to do it, this is by our lovely friend and beloved Philomena, that often the way the bacalhau is done on Christmas, for Christmas dinner, is everything on the plate is boiled. Which doesn't sound immediately the most appetizing way of doing it, does it? And I see a few smiles from our Portuguese friends here tonight looking at the gallery. But that's how that's traditional, right? Everything boiled and with the boiled egg as well. Do you like that? No, Daniel,
yes.
getting some, yes, perfect.
I do.
Do not knock it until you've tried it. I imagine it just reminds you of so many wonderful family Christmases. That's very evocative of wonderful family times.
Usually we do it so many ways, but that's the most traditional ones, and I still love it. So
it makes
if you
sense.
have good ingredients, so good cod, good eggs, and especially a very good olive oil, that's amazing.
Simplicity and maybe cooked by grandma as well. I can see that makes a lot of homely common sense and a lovely thing, a lovely festive thing. So there you go.
Olive oil and garlic are key.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's very interesting. When I first tried it, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, I wasn't very keen on it. I thought it was too salty, and now I love it.
Yeah.
It's funny how your tastes change, and I'm getting hungry now just looking at that.
I could eat that. I could definitely.
So could I.
Yes, definitely. So this is the education now, and it's lovely to have our Portuguese panel with us to talk us through this. Any questions you've got, they're here and you can ask them. So that's question one. Jerry, do you want to do this one?
Sure. Bolleré is the name of this cake with the gifts inside. I don't really fully know the tradition. Perhaps one of our Portuguese friends could tell us a little bit more. What happens if you get the metal object when you're eating it?
You choke. Possibly.
You choke. You sue the baker.
That's why they took it out. Have any of you got the broad bean and had to pay for it the next year?
Yeah.
You have had that happen to you, Anna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. Okay. And
in Ireland, we have a similar tradition with it's not the same cake, it's different, but there's a ring inside, a gold ring inside. And whoever gets the ring has to get married that year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I guess that's more expensive than having to buy a new cake.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially if you're already married.
Yes, that could be cause quite a lot of trouble, actually.
Sorry about the typo there.
In the U.S., in Louisiana, this is called king cake.
Oh,
and it's very traditional to find an amulet of the king inside the cake.
Yeah.
Very nice. So
here it was also, but now they changed it, and it's now not anymore. As so many things they are changing because of safety reasons, or I don't know, healthy reasons. But it was traditionally like that.
So enjoy it while you still can.
You always pay for the dental bill afterward. That's
Yeah, there is that as well, Gail, isn't there? For sure. And you can get a bolorena, can't you? For some people looking at that and thinking, I couldn't possibly eat that much dried fruit, glazed fruit. I think the bolorena has less of that on it, doesn't it?
No fruits.
No
only
fruit.
Only almonds and I don't know the name, nuts and raisins, etc.
Okay, so the queen
not the
version.
colorful part. No.
Yeah. Okay, so the king is colorful and fruity, and the queen is nutty and less exuberant.
Yeah.
In Canada, we have what we call fruit cake, where all of the fruit is kind of in a, like a banana bread look. So all of the fruit is in that way. So, but that would be a more traditional Christmas.
That one we call it bolo English.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah, English cake.
That's funny.
Very good. Yeah, that's a special relationship there again.
Yeah. All right. Now, I gave us a little preview of this picture. We can have some more of it now. Isn't that lovely?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's so appetizing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
how do they get it in the dish?
Yes, because they're not the most compliant of animals, I understand. I dare say that we have a few folks here who've ridden them. The sobremesa translates as camel drool, but it's also common to see camel spit on the menu there. So don't be too disgusted, basically, if you see that on the menu. It is much nicer than it sounds, isn't it? No, it sounds like it's a favorite of yours. Tell us about it. What's it like on the tongue?
Oh, it's sweet. It's smooth on the mouth, in the tongue. So it's very good, very good.
Right, he loves it, doesn't he? Listen to him.
Loves it, doesn't he? He sounds like a TV advert.
Yes, listen to him.
He's already drooling.
Now we might need Daniel for this, but Paul's very competitive, I think, and is wanting the letters. We haven't got those in the answers here, have we? So I think some people will be able to verify that for us. So I'm actually not sure which letter that was, Paul, but we'll do our best.
It was B.
It was
letter B. Yeah.
Thank you. Who was that?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, our official adjudicator, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Well, no, I just wrote down a few letters. So, Paul, I can help you out sometimes, but not with all of them.
Team effort.
So come on then, Paul. What did you have? Did you have B or did you have something else?
I actually got it right.
Oh, well done.
Well done.
Yes, but what is it? What's it? It's sweet caramel something, or what is it? Camel drool.
Good question. Nunu.
It's leite condensado. I don't know how to say it in English.
Condensed milk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With sugar.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Yeah, with sugar. And Barack has just tuned in. Hi from Texas. Can you imagine tuning in to the quiz and seeing a camel drooling as the first thing you see? Barack, do stick around. We can explain. Okay, I've heard of Bolloré, says James, and lovely hat, James. I heard of Bolloré king cake with a baby Jesus made out of gummy, edible. That's the right compromise, isn't it? It's to replace the metal thing with an edible thing, rather than spoiling everybody's fun.
Yeah, but not the baby Jesus. Come on.
True. That's very offensive, possibly, isn't it? Especially it forms as a gummy bear. So yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Geriatric camel drool would be the premium version. I don't know about that. Nunu, is that true? The older the camel, the better?
Oh, I don't know. The only thing that I know is that the condensed milk must be cooked.
Yes.
Until it stay dark is the only thing that I know.
So if it's not sweet enough, you cook it some more to caramelize.
Yeah.
Oh
yes,
my
yes,
word.
yes.
Oh,
with the with the tin closed, so without opening it.
You boil the tin of evaporated milk.
Yes,
what
without
could possibly go wrong?
Inside, yeah.
Maybe for 3 or 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Until it explodes across the kitchen.
No, because if you stay the tin completely underwater,
yes,
it will not explode.
Yeah.
It sounds like such a high. That's the next thing that's going to get banned. Bolloré has now been sorted out by Brussels. Next thing on the list, I think, is the preparation of camel draw.
I think I'm preferring the camel spit.
Yes, well, there are others 4-hour boiled evaporated milk in a tin. Okay, yes, and yes, so eat the baby Jesus then, says Laurie McDonald. I didn't think that through, did I? Okay, and that is correct, says Denise. You boil the tin of condensed milk for about 4 hours. Extraordinary. Okay, and yes, this question, this is one you asked, wasn't it, Jerry? No snapping your fingers for questions.
Yeah, so no, don't snap your fingers. Simple. A conta, por favor, and that will usually bring the bill.
And that is C. That is C.
And I must, it is a perfect opportunity. I had lunch with some friends today. And we all had, when we sat down, we were served with the usual olives and freshly baked bread. We all had a glass of wine. We all had soup. We had our main courses were pork dishes because it was a Tao restaurant. We all had dessert, we all had coffee, and the bill, a conta, was €9 each.
Beautiful.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Where is this, Jerry? Do you want to give
near me? Near me.
Recommendation to Tamar part of town. Jerry doesn't want it overrun with tourists, clearly.
No, not at all. Not at all. We already have too many tourists here.
Yeah, Tamar, terrible
I've
place.
paid way more to get food poisoning, so you're lucky.
Oh dear. Okay, so yes, a conta por favor, faz favor. Posso pagar? Can we also say that as different ways of approaching this?
Yes.
But
and you can use sign language as well.
That is okay, is it? Sign
just
language?
sign in the air, yeah.
Yes, but if you do that,
it's polite to ask a conta por favor.
But interestingly, you will not be bothered in most Portuguese restaurants until they're ready to close.
You need to ask it.
You do need to ask, don't you? You will not be hustled in a Portuguese restaurant.
So sometimes the old-fashioned sign of doing this is because then you're not shouting across at someone. You can catch someone's eye at the other end of the room.
Yeah.
So that is quite useful.
And it's a lovely thing about Portugal. You will not be hurried or hustled. It is a very respectful relationship between diner and host with that. And you'll probably have to ask. So it's a good phrase to know and to write down this evening for when you're in Portugal. Praça do Comércio then. Am I right, Portuguese friends here? Question 5. When they went to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and hit the button, nothing happened. The mayor of Lisbon. What happened, Daniel?
Someone messed up. It was a fun blooper, so it's Portugal at its best. It was amazing.
And he's fired now, right? The guy who was meant to light up the lights.
I don't know. It was actually the guy that is running the municipality. So the mayor was the one that was pushing the button and nothing was happening. So someone got fired for sure.
And they said, oh, yes, we're trying to save electricity this year. And that was probably a really good way of doing it, right?
Probably it was underwater. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah. The generators are probably underwater, yeah.
It is a great tree and not the only one at all in Lisbon or in Portugal. Nativities, principios, the nativity scenes, lighting displays are fabulous. I've seen yours, Anna. Cascais, you had... unusually, you had Mariah Carey as the song opening that up. I was a bit disappointed with that, but the light show itself inside that dome is spectacular.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, and we have the big wheel as well. So and we have a entire village inside of the park with snow and carousels and a lot of things for kids. Yeah,
wonderful. And Bonnie, Rossio's looking good.
It's beautiful. Lots of outdoor stalls and a lot of people gathering and enjoying ginja, glue wine. And there were probably 2 other things, but those were my stops.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh,
is ginja the liqueur they put in the chocolate cup?
Ginja.
Ginja. I'm sorry for the
no problem. Yeah. It's hard because it's a letter, the same letter. It has different sounds, so it's ginja. Yeah.
Ginja.
Yeah.
Well, have you tried that yet, Bonnie? In the little chocolate cup, and you drink the ginger, and then you get to eat the cup. Ah,
Oh, it's so good.
Sustainable,
Yes.
very sustainable and ecologically friendly. Chocolate.
They had that at Rossio.
Don't try it with coffee though. Don't have the chocolate cup with coffee. It's a disaster. Okay, we have a recipe that's come in from Soraya, camel recipe. Well, a camel spit recipe, I suspect. Start by separating the yolks from the whites in a bowl. Pour the boiled condensed milk and the egg yolks and beat well until obtaining a homogeneous mixture. In another container, beat the egg whites until stiff. Add them to the previous preparation, wrapping carefully, refrigerate the camel draw, and serve it decorated with sliced toasted almonds. That's a slightly less intensive way of doing it. Thank you very much for that. Cut and paste that, folks, if you want to try that at home. And what do you call the garlic carrots you sometimes get with the olives and bread? Coming back to your comments earlier on, Jerry, I think, or maybe even with the bacalhau. Glenn is asking that. So the garlic carrots, does that ring any bells, Portuguese friends?
Yep, it does. It's usually a starter, and I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be cenoura con what would
Alho.
Alho. So senora
Garlic is alho. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. For you, Glenn. Okay. Would you mind taking a moment and seeing if we can get... Yes, Havli, we'll do our best to have you included here. I am keeping an eye on the comments so that we can hear you that way. If we can't actually, when we open all the mics up, let's see if we can hear you then. But I am aware of your plight and we'll do what we can. We'll do our very best to include you, of course. So onward then. Children at Christmas. When do they open them up, Jerry?
Well, the children or the puppies open their presents on Christmas Eve.
No,
not on Christmas morning.
As soon as they receive them.
No. On Christmas Eve.
They would love to do it.
Sure. And I imagine their grandparents as well find it hard to resist them opening up the presents straight away. Doting on the kids as they do here in Portugal. So yeah, Christmas Eve is when it all really happens, right? So what's left then to take place on Christmas Day, for example, Anna?
What happens usually is, as families are big, sometimes you be with part of the family on the 24 and you open the presents between the persons that are there. And then in the 25, you go to the other part of the family and you open the presents with the persons that are there. Usually until the 6th of January, there's a lot of gatherings with friends and sometimes even family, because big families, and it's always allowed to change gifts until the 6th of January. So if you are late in buying something, you still have time until the January the 6th. So no problem.
Good tip. Thank you. Good Christmas survival hack there from Anna. Thank you very much for that. All right, question 7 then. How's everybody doing so far? Has anyone got 100% so far? Let us know.
I have.
Well done, Jerry. Amazing.
So far.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's not peak too early, shall we? This food hall in Lisbon is known as Time Out Market, of course, and owned by Time Out magazine. It is a fabulous place. Some people might be put off by it being a bit touristy. It's probably in every tourist guide of Lisbon, isn't it? But still, what an amazing place to go. And the market next door, a very traditional Portuguese market next door, food and produce market and flowers, and an amazing place to eat food from all over Portugal. A favorite of yours, Jerry?
Absolutely. I love to visit it. And there are often cooking demonstrations going on at sort of this end of it. And I think there are even cooking classes you can take. Yes, at the market. But the nice thing about it is having a little bit at different stalls. That's what I like about it. I love variety in my food, and I think it's great that you can have so many different cuisines, and not just Portuguese, but lots of foreign foods, chefs as well there. Really good. Really
James.
Good. And I believe it's quite, sorry to interrupt you, Carl, but I believe it's quite well known for chefs to try out, very popular chefs to use it as a way of trying out their dishes and so on, before they bring them to their main restaurants. So yeah, highly recommend it.
All right. James is concerned that it's so crowded all the time. Lisboetas, you Alfacinas, what's the best time to go to Time Out Market to not encounter lots of tourists? Is there a quieter time of the year to go there?
Never seen that, so
Yes, I was going to say exactly the same.
Yeah.
Always busy. Or you've never been?
I've never been there.
Wow.
Never been there. Oh,
No.
Isadora.
Never been there.
Okay.
If you want to go now, take a boat.
Yes.
It's underwater.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, my recommendation on that note, Anna, because it is at Costa de Sodra, isn't it? Which is, of course,
Yeah.
a ferry port on the river there.
Yeah.
If you get to Time Out Market and it's too busy, you could jump on a ferry and go across to Casillas.
Oh, that's better food.
Yeah, and go to the fabulous Farol
Not
seafood restaurant.
not
on the
so
other side.
touristic.
Yeah, yeah, I love it over there. And you get a beer and you get some lovely fresh seafood on the other side of the water there.
Yeah.
And it's so lovely to go across the water on a ferry, see the bridge, and you're across the river in 10 minutes, aren't you? And it's just a really nice slice of proper Portuguese life there. Just
and it's the best view of Lisbon. It's the view from what we call Margem Sul, the south side.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is indeed the best view from Lisbon. So that's a pretty good piece of advice indeed.
Yeah, it's the poor man's consolation, really, isn't it? Is that you live on the wrong side of the river, but you get the best view. So so the Lord works in a mysterious way there.
No, I would say that's the best side of the river. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. Casillas, what an amazing place to live, right? I'm surprised that the Casillas didn't get sort of gentrified in an instant. I love it on that side of the water, and it's you could say it's the more authentic side to be, right? And you're going to get a real taste of Portuguese life. And thank you for that spelling there, Anna. And thank you, Isadora. Yes, thank you for that, letting Havli know. And you've just returned from Lisbon, says Sandy. Went to Time Out and loved it. It is a restaurant. It is crowded. It's usually a sign. It's a good restaurant. Well, that's true as well. Sorry, Isadora, were you adding something there?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I thought somebody was adding something onto that. Perhaps enough of us going on about our favorite food choices in Lisbon. Question 8. Oh, Jerry.
Oh, yes. Well, the original trams for Lisbon were supplied from America, and they became known as Americanos, not to be confused with the coffee, but they're actually called Americanos traditionally.
Yes, yeah. Which is that's a very, very good that you should mention that. If you do want an Americano coffee, you're probably better off asking for an abatonado. Is that right? Or a cheio? Which would be the best approximation for those people used to drinking Americanos, folks?
I would say an abatonado.
Abatonado.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you're missing that and you want something a little bit bigger than an espresso because you want to stay in the cafe for more than 30 seconds.
Well, the risk is, of course, if they're not familiar with what that is, you often just get 2 shots of espresso.
Okay.
And you got to be careful about that because that can keep you awake at night.
Yes,
So a batonade is 1 espresso and then in a large cup topped up with water.
Yeah, there you go. So now you know.
Yeah.
All right.
But you've got to watch that they don't just give you 2 or even 3 shots of espresso.
Yeah. How do you ask for that, Anna, when you really need it? A very strong
Café duplo.
Duplo is going to be
double coffee. Café duplo.
When you need the strong one, ask for a duplo. Very good. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Or Nescafe.
Nescafe is not strong.
George Clooney, do not show your face in Portugal. How dare he?
We've been talking about George Clooney all this week.
We have, but I mean, I think it's inexcusable that he has a place in Comporta, is it? And then advertises the awful coffee machine.
Have you seen the new machines, coffee machines from Delta, that the coffee comes from the bottom?
From bottom.
It raises instead of
really
falling. Yeah, it was designed by Philip Stark, the machine, exclusively for Delta, which is a Portuguese brand of coffee.
And do you
it's an amazing design machine, and it's a different way of serving the coffee because they explain the coffee has less exposure to air, so it has a different taste because it will fill up the cup from below, from bottom, and not from the top. So it's,
does it use those pods, Anna? You still have to buy.
Yeah, I believe it's with a pot as well,
Yeah.
but it's a special cup in a special machine. I have not tried it.
I'm not
but I only
convinced those
seen the
pods.
machine. Yeah.
I'm not convinced they're biodegradable, which always
Yeah.
sort of concerns me. So I prefer a machine that doesn't require the pods. But there are some very good, inexpensive machines here in Portugal that all do good coffee in my view.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to the webinar where Delta come with Philippe Stark and show us that, Jerry. I think that'd be a great webinar.
I think we booked George Clooney to come in first.
Whoops. Astrid will do that one then, eh?
There's a waiting list for participants.
But we're still arguing about his fee. He wants 100 and we only want to pay 50
euros. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, this sounds like a bargain. Okay, that pavement style, and this is one of the wonderful things, of course, isn't it, about Portugal? If you consider for a moment how many calçada blocks there might be in all of Portugal, and so probably somebody has tried to work that out. They are calçadas, not cobleiros or any of the other answers.
You know what you are writing down is calcada. It's not calçada over there.
Jerry,
sorry,
it's missing the cedilla, and it's a different word. So
oh, what has Jerry said there? What has Jerry said by saying calcada?
No, it's something that was pressed with your feet.
Could be worse.
Yeah, something that you pressed with your feet would be a good description of calcada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No. You
always find one, and I really should check in with you.
It's not a problem. It's just because it's a different word. That's
It's really interesting because if you are in Porto, calcada means to step on someone's toes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's they have this particular expression. Once you step on someone's feet, they'll say,
"Deste-me uma calcada."
Calcada. That's it.
You gave me a calcada, like you
Yes.
step on my feet.
So you stepped on someone's feet. That's basically it.
It is such a joy to watch them do it because I mean they're artists. They really are, and their patience, and every piece is kind of shaped in properly with a little hammer. It probably has a special name, I don't know, but they're real craftsmen doing this job. And if you see it happening, just take a minute, have a coffee, just watch it for a little bit. It's a real pleasure.
Beautiful.
It's an extinction profession.
Is that right?
There are not many people doing it
They're
longer.
well paid, actually. Good professionals to have calçadas like the one that you have in the picture done. They're well paid professionals in Portugal, at least considering blue collar workers.
Yeah. Extraordinary. And of course it is is it also known as the great leveler or the respecter of nobody, because this on a wet day, as you're experiencing obviously in Lisbon, this will bring down a king and a pauper alike. No discrimination there, right?
No.
I've suffered several mischiefs of calçadas, so yes, that's completely right.
Yeah, and that's why I never wear high heels when I'm in Lisbon.
No, I've told you about that, Carl.
Yeah, the last time. Terrible business. I'll get in touch with you about that, Daniel. I need to sue somebody. Okay.
Good luck with that.
Question. Somebody wants to sue me, seeing them in the home. Okay. Queen Amelia, was it Jerry on this one in Pena Palace?
Right. Yes, and she spent her last night there before leaving the country in exile. And I visited. I think this is my own photograph. I visited this castle earlier this year, and it's stunning, and the views from it are stunning, and it really is a pleasure.
Yeah,
a pleasurable place to spend a couple of hours. I think. Really recommend it.
Yeah, beautiful, great photo, great place. So there we go. We're concluding the quiz.
And you can see Cascais in the part.
Wait. Let me go back. Wait. Oh yeah, look, there's Anna. Look, you can see her.
See.
Yes. Very
I'm
good.
happy it's not owned by Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Not yet.
Might be a golf course if it had been, right? Yeah, just take that bit off.
I bet if he came along with a briefcase full of money, I bet someone would sell it to him. Actually, I'll sell it to him.
He will believe you.
Yeah. I just need a good lawyer to draw up the contract. Who do I know?
I'm here.
Yes, Daniel. And sell in the NFT version of it rather than the real one. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is serious now, because this will of course affect your prospects of moving in. This is being watched closely by the Portuguese government. Anybody who got less than 9 is not allowed to move to Portugal. Is that right, Daniel? Or is it 8 now? Have we lowered the bar?
Now they're facilitating things as the consulates are getting delayed. They say, well, 8 you can pass, but please improve your level of Portuguese culture. Otherwise, you'll just be barred by the CEF stamp man at the entry of Portugal.
Didn't I see you on that quiz on YouTube? So yes, don't worry, James. 2 wrong. I think that's really respectable. Let's have a look then. If you can go to the chat and let us know. Did anyone get 10? We'll give you a moment while we have a look in the YouTube chat. There's Suze. Thanks for all your messages. And I'm trying to scroll up because we had some lovely greetings as well from people this evening. Tony Modeiros, lots of health, peace, and happiness to everyone this holiday season. Thank you, Tony. Suze, who doesn't like a Christmas party last thing in the morning, which it is for you, and you went to a Christmas party last night. Didn't recognize anyone without their dog. Sounds like an interesting meetup. Tonight is my kind of expat meetup at Billy Bishop Legion Pub. Brits, Yanks, and other Canucks like me all have been to Portugal. So you're having a Portugal meetup in Vancouver tonight. That's amazing. Have a great time. Love to everyone there. Sarah Yerman, been surprised to find carnival rides for Christmas here. Is that all over the country or just Setúbal and Lisbon? Carnival rides, is that a thing all over the country there, Portuguese friends? It is. Anna.
Yes, of course.
All right.
And there are a lot of small little towns and small villages that have larger markets. Danielle is bringing the dog. So all over Portugal, yeah.
Not happy about it.
A Portuguese cattle dog. Rafael and Chan.
Hello.
So
oh,
cute.
wow. What a beauty.
She's huge.
And quiet.
Yeah.
It's
a Portuguese breed.
You still got more hair, Daniel. You still got more hair than he has.
Yep.
Well, nobody's fessing up to their score, so we're assuming that everybody dropped beneath the required CEF standard tonight. But we'll.
Whoops.
Bonnie, Quinta da Regalheira. What is that?
It's an excellent advice. It's really beautiful. Everyone should visit it.
Beautiful place that is very close to the Pina Palace.
Yeah.
And the gardens, I happen to think, are more extraordinary than the quinta itself. So it's absolutely beautiful, and it has a lot of history that is steeped in mystery.
Yeah.
And so if you get a really good guide who can navigate you through the whole gardens, you're going to be transported from heaven to hell and back again. It's really quite interesting.
Wow, wonderful. What a lovely recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jacqueline, 9. Well done, Jacqueline. Christina, 8. Very good. OLP, I can't move now. We're only kidding, really. These aren't being reported to anybody, not this year anyway. So don't worry. It was all a bit of fun and a learning experience. Oregonians loving Portugal. Sorry, got 10. No need to be sorry there, Denise. Proud, a very good result there. No video or mic tonight. Went on a sea cruise up the East African coast to Mozambique Islands and came home with a dreadful dose of flu, a bit like my man flu. If it's anything like mine, it must be terrible, Denise. And 8 from another Denise K, but also had a few lucky guesses. Well, the Portuguese Borsor there.
And big news from Nuno.
What happened?
Yeah, so the Americanos.
Yes.
For me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've learned something tonight. Excellent.
Definitely. Yeah. Learning with you about Portuguese history.
Tomorrow you're the expert, Nuno, though, aren't you? When you're telling somebody tomorrow, do you know what the trams used to be called? Jean, a very good 7 as well. Well done. Thanks everybody for taking part, and thanks Jerry. Great quiz. Really good fun, and some knowledge there as Nunu discovered tonight. 6 for Paul there. So room for improvement. I could do better there, Paul, but a good effort nonetheless. Come on.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Paul sit in on the quiz last year?
Yes, he did. No, he didn't.
And weren't they very similar questions?
I've got a bad memory.
Okay, fair enough. Hannah only got 2.
Just kidding.
That's the shocker of the night.
Just kidding.
It is the shocker of the night. Still, it's one more than me.
Yeah. And Bonnie 7, well done. Camel Drool, the Camel Drool was a mystery. And Sandy, my trip to Portugal must have been successful. I got 7, and it sounds like you had a fantastic time. So let's throw those mics open. Anyone who's just here, anyone who's just been, do you want to share? Anybody who wants to share any Christmas greetings tonight, feel free to do so as well. So let's get noisy, chuck those microphone faders up, and share your Christmas cheer, if you will, and stories of Portugal.
Before 9, it won't take us a few minutes to set.
Who's that?
Now we have Havey Taylor. She wasn't able to log in, but now she's.
Havely, are you through with us now in Baltimore with your virtual hat on? Is that?
I'm so sorry.
Haley, could you ask the person who's calling you to log in? Then we can hear both sides of the conversation.
Yeah, it's very fascinating.
So you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want us to do the quiz again?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Right. No, I lost track.
Well, good to have you here. We can hear you loud and clear. Yeah, anybody want to share any messages, please do so. 3 and 2 were guesses from Ben, but I've never been to Portugal, so a very good effort. And 7, but the ones I knew without guessing. Jean, reinforcing learning there as well. And I think Anna must be helping out people behind the scenes there. So yeah, definitely. If you have any questions of Nuno, Anna, or Daniel, you can PM them tonight. And Paul can tell you all about the Algarve, because I believe he lives there. He might have mentioned it before. Anna, of course, in Cascais. We've got all sorts of people doing all sorts of wonderful things here in Portugal, so it's a good chance to ask questions. Feliz Natal from Glenn. E ano novo para bom ano novo para todos. Thank you, Glenn, for that greeting as well. Oh, Portuguese people, the right greetings. Feliz Natal, boas festas, bom ano novo. What else should we need to know?
You said it all.
That's it.
You said it all.
Oh.
There is a hard word if you want to learn it. It's próspero ano novo.
Próspero. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it just trips off the tongue, that, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to try that tomorrow.
It's regarding New Year, but it's próspero ano novo. So it's Feliz Natal e próspero ano novo.
Okay.
Prosperous New Year.
Vlog and prosperous.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, Red. Jerry.
And a boas entradas as well from Soraya this evening. Thank you for that as well. And Denise, this year will be my second Christmas here. So do you want to talk about the first one? Do you want to talk about your year here? We'd love to hear from anyone who's here in Portugal at the moment, enjoying life and relatively new here, and hearing of your impressions of being here and any challenges you've got that we might be able to help you out with tonight, because sometimes there are a few things to get used to as well. Any teething problems, let us know. But Denise, second Christmas, that's fantastic news.
Yeah, no, my first Christmas, I was staying in a house in Miranda de Corvo, a little house I rented while I was waiting to buy my house, and there was no heat.
Nice.
So they had a little pellet burner, but it actually caught on fire one morning and burnt half the wall. So we had no heat. Never had a pellet burner, but it was actually defaulted because somebody hadn't used it in a long time. And so when I lit it up, it really lit up. So that was my daughter was visiting, so we had a little bit of fun with that, throwing water on the wall, trying to get the fire.
Yikes.
But no, it was all good. It didn't do very much damage. We caught it in time. But yeah, that was our big moment. And I bought a little, I went and bought a planted tree that's about a 1.5 feet tall. and that was our Christmas tree on the kitchen table. So it was really Charlie Brown Christmas. I don't know if anybody knows what that refers to, but it was, what that really means is like we had a pretty sad looking tree, but we had a wonderful Christmas. We just pigged out on chocolate and all sorts of treats, and yeah, so that was our first Christmas. This year it's different. My whole family will be back in Canada, and so I'm going down on the 26th, so a little bit different this year.
Oh, wow.
Denise, you will appreciate this. My sister has what she calls a Charlie Brown tree in her backyard, and it has one ornament on
it. yeah, that's so funny.
I know what you mean now with that image in mind. Yeah.
Just one ornament.
Yeah.
Really sad tree that's kind of bent over and really tired looking, and but we had a lot of fun all the same. It was still nice.
Oh, lovely. And how's your first year been, Denise? Where did you end up?
I ended up in Vila Nova de Poiares, which is just outside of Coimbra, for those who don't really know Portugal very well. It's in central Portugal, and I ended up buying my house here and finished all the renovations after a year of crazy work, and started an Airbnb. And
oh, well done.
Yeah, so it's been a very busy year, and looking forward to this second year starting up. So
all of that in your first year?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
and I also started working with real estate, so I've been very busy.
Wow.
Can you tell us the name of your Airbnb in case we're in your area?
There you go.
It's called Sunrise Villa.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and what's the town?
And if you look in Vila Nova de Poiares, which is Poiares.
Look at that. Anna's typed it straight in for us there. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for doing that. Really appreciate it.
So it's been a real roller coaster of fun, and trying to figure everything out and where everything is and how to get things fixed. But you know what? I absolutely love Portugal, and every single day I get up and I say, thank God there's no snow. Every day it's like no snow. I don't care if it's raining. There is no. I open up the curtain. It's like no snow. I'm not having to scrape my windows or shut
you
my
need
driveway.
You need to give it a year or so, Denise. Then you'll go, oh no, it's raining again. But you know, it'll take a year or so.
And I give the permission for anybody to hit me on the head if I say that, if I complain about rain, because I can tell you right now we have a big snowstorm hitting Canada, and everybody's calling me up saying, do you know we have a big snowstorm right now? And it's like, oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. It's like I'm standing there in my, today I was just outside with the sweatshirt on, and it's like, we got a big snowstorm here. So.
Oh, fantastic. You brought the sweater, but not the snow.
Yes, this was my Christmas sweater. So.
It's fabulous.
I had to be a little bit festive.
Yeah, thank you for making the effort. Well, what a lovely year to celebrate and with the Airbnb as well.
I just have to say, Carl, is that when I first started thinking about coming over to Portugal was a while ago, but when I started actively thinking I was going to move, it's your show that I actually was listening in on every morning when I would wake up because of the time difference, and just chime in and listen into all what you were sharing about how to do things and where to go and what to do. And so that was sort of my first contact with learning about Portugal.
Yeah, that's really nice to hear. But we come to you now to find out. And your YouTube channel.
Yes. An ignorant question.
Oh, yes, of course. Is that a question? Thank you so much, Denise. Really appreciate your input there. Thank you so much. I think somebody else was wanting to ask a question.
Yeah, I have a very ignorant question.
Go on.
Daniel is a lawyer. And how does a lawyer help someone who's immigrating to Portugal? I know this is a Christmas party, so maybe I'm not supposed to ask.
Not a problem. My pleasure. So to come to Portugal, you'll need to request a visa in the consulates, and to submit unfortunately, one thing is what is written in the law. The other one is what the consulates actually do. And the third aspect out of this is how CEF does behave in issuing the residency permit. So migrating to Portugal, it's a two-step procedure. The first one is the residency permit within the consulate of your area of residency. So this is the Portuguese consulate. You submit all the paperwork. They sometimes nitpick on the paperwork. So having a lawyer reviewing all the paperwork delivered is useful, although not mandatory. So you can submit your visa application without any assistance. But in my perspective, you'll need to lose a lot of time reading on the internet, and some information that you may find on the internet is not accurate. And the main issue is that each consulate has a particular way of conducting their business. So an information that is valid for one consulate, it's not valid for the other one, and so on and so forth. And this is sometimes a bit frustrating for applicants. So that is the reason why I would advise you to hire someone to assist in the migration procedure. The other one is within CEF, within the migration agency or migration police here in Portugal, you have a booking to collect the biometric data details. And at this stage, if the documents are all right, then it's a smooth process. You take your picture, fingerprints, and the signature, and it's smooth sailing. But if one of the documents is missing, and sometimes if you're not accompanied by a lawyer, they'll just try to say, well, I'm too sorry, come back in 4 or 5 months. So you can get a big delay on your residency permit if you're not accompanied with someone that knows the trade and knows the deal. So that's basically the issues. The migration procedure is not fully straightforward. I've looked into, for instance, the Canadian migration procedure, and all the details are over there. And if you jump through all the hoops, you'll have a successful residency permit on the other side. It's not the same straightforward situation in Portugal because, as I said, you have the law and then you have what consulates or CEF thinks about the law, and those are different things, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And as Glenn says there, Daniel smashed it out of the park as usual. That's what we're used to.
I think you missed a couple of points, though. I think he's also quite handy if you want to buy a property in Portugal.
Correct.
You tend to need a lawyer for that. And he's a very useful guy to know. If you want to open a business in Portugal, I'd recommend him for that as well. So
there you go.
That's my main métier. Usually, you probably already seen in Expats page, you have Gilda with EI Migration Services. I work with Gilda for quite a long time, but then I opened my law firm and I'm more targeted towards property acquisitions and incorporation in Portugal. But if you want a D7 or any other type of residency visa, like the digital nomad nowadays, talk with Gilda. She is the go-to professional, and her team are the go-to professionals to obtain the residency visa in Portugal.
Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Great, there you go. And yeah, James, of course, yes, Daniel, as he said, there is the one who works with EI or A, and Casa Portuguesa there. Thank you, Daniel, for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bit of input from YouTube. Our son's girlfriend's family does something on Christmas Eve from about midnight to 2 a.m. They aren't going to midnight mass. Any thoughts about what's going on? She needs to find out. So it's a family mystery there, and it's a family activity that they're not used to as non-Portuguese folks. What might Portuguese people be doing between midnight and 2 a.m.? Or should we
Well, if it was my family, we would be opening the presents. We usually don't go to the mass. So from midnight until around 2 a.m., we are opening the presents, and then it's a done deal, and we'll finish the family tradition. So if it's not opening presents or the mass, I have no idea.
Yeah.
The mystery, the Scooby-Doo mystery continues.
Usually that mass is longer than the other ones, so that's why maybe they say from midnight to 2, because usually it's a really special mass with a lot of songs, and you are able to go and to pray special care to a little image of a baby Jesus. So there's a long ceremonial. So if it's a very religious family, they may go to the mass. Yeah.
That's great.
You know, it's his birthday, so it's
well, yes.
you need to pay them respect. So it's like
that brings up a point.
Yeah.
that brings up a point, Anna, that I bring up at this time every year. which is that all around Portugal, wherever you go now, you can see pictures. There are nativity scenes in restaurants, in houses, in gardens, in the town square, wherever you go. And they all do the same thing, which I think is a big mistake. They all have
put
the baby there.
Jesus. Yeah.
The baby hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah, not all of them. At my home, there's no baby Jesus until the 25.
Yeah, that's
But
when the baby should be
there are
put
a lot
in,
of places that have the
Yeah.
baby Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It depends.
Yeah. Good point there, Jerry.
He's not born yet.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So how can he be there?
Yeah.
And I have another question, Carl. We've talked a lot about Christmas in the US. We've talked about Christmas in Canada and the UK and in Portugal, but I don't know anything about Christmas in Brazil. Do we know someone we could ask a little bit about that, Carl? Do you have any suggestions?
You can help us with that. Hello,
I was-
Jacqueline.
Hello. I guess I got my correct information on the questions from a lot of similarities between Brazilian and Portuguese reality. So you will see that the codfish that you're so fan of, you will see it everywhere in Brazil. Like it was the first impressions when I came to Brazil, how much dishes are served with codfish. And it's not typical of here. It's imported because it's the waters are too warm for all this bacalhau. But yeah, so the similarities are quite big. The Christmas is a big thing. And it's really funny to decorate a Christmas tree when it's 35 degrees outside. So that's definitely something that I found it funny. But it's a similar fashion where big families come together. The family that I spent most with and I will spend with this year, they have Italian roots also. So they make this whole big thing of a whole production line of pasta that everyone is involved in, and everyone does one little piece of the pasta production. So someone is making the dough, the other one is putting it in a machine, the next one is putting the filling, the next one is cutting the pasta, and then you've got a whole production line of pasta making. I don't know if that's typical for all Brazilians, but that it's definitely about family. That's very Brazilian. And I think that's similar to the Portuguese and Christian traditions brought here by the Portuguese. So they really you have to spend it with family. And 24th is at night. That's when the party starts because that's like the birth of Jesus. So that's when everyone starts hugging and celebrating each other. And then it's when you start to have the dinner. At least that was my experience so far. You have the 24th evening dinner at 12 at midnight. And before that time, it's typical Brazilian dancing, singing, a lot of jokes telling with lots of people, family, drinking, having wines, having some olives, things like that. So that's definitely big family gathering. And it's something that they really appreciate to celebrate.
Great question, Jerry. Thanks for answering that, Jacqueline. That's fantastic. Now, without putting you on the spot, can you remember any of those Brazilian jokes?
Jokes, no.
They should be about Portuguese.
Maybe.
Yeah, Brazilian tell jokes about
Jacqueline,
Portuguese.
careful, Jacqueline, careful.
Okay, let's move on.
But feel free to tell them. We are good. We are good
My memory's
listening.
Memory's suddenly gone. Memory's suddenly gone. It can happen to anybody. Oh,
Nuno and Astrid and I were talking the other night a little bit about Christmas in Portugal, and I realized that Portugal doesn't have Christmas crackers. And I don't think North America has Christmas crackers either.
What?
So, Carl, you're an Englishman.
Yes.
And Paul, let's explain to us what Christmas crackers are.
Paul, it's a Yorkshire phrase, isn't it? Bloody crackers.
Yeah, you have to be crackers to buy them. They're expensive.
Hey.
Yeah, typical Yorkshireman. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a small little parcel with ribbons on. You pull it apart, and inside the cracker is supposedly little presents, or sometimes they're very good presents if they're expensive crackers, or sometimes they're a waste of time. But it's just the fun of getting people together and pulling things apart, basically.
Yeah,
which is what families do.
They crack when they open.
Yeah, they make a bang.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
you need to offer a vacuum cleaner if you open a cracker.
Yes. Yes. You know about these then, Anna. You must have some British pals.
Yeah, they are sold here in Portugal. Yeah.
Oh,
not in. It's not traditional, but if you go to the supermarkets, you can buy it. Not all supermarkets, but at least here I found them. I don't know if it's available everywhere.
Oh, I've never seen them. Never seen
If you go to El Corte Inglés, they have like
well,
20 different with
Well,
colors and sizes.
Who can afford to go there, Anna, apart from yourself? You know?
In the US, you can get crackers at either specialty stores, but sometimes they have them at a TJ Maxx or something. But they're not very well known there. So
no.
Yeah.
No.
You'll if you're in the Algarve, you'll get them at Alpolonia's, but they are rather expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at a vital part that I think you might have missed out there, Paul. And by the way, it's 9:15 now. Time has flown. So, and we do understand if people are drifting away. If you are, then thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the community all this year. Have a fabulous holiday. Have a fabulous Christmas, however you celebrate, and looking forward to a prosperous, as we were saying before, prosperous and abundant 2023. And may all your Portuguese dreams come true. So if you have to go, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being here this year, and we'll see you soon. Christmas crackers, Paul, they have a hat in them, don't they? They have the snap. When you pull it, it makes a bang. And you've got your hat, and you've got your little gift, maybe, and the jokes. Now, I've got a few here for you. Would you like to hear some Christmas cracker jokes, everybody?
No.
Thank you. All right.
How long have you got?
There's somebody who knows what they are.
Yorkshireman says no.
The two Yorkshiremen do not want to hear the Christmas cracker jokes because they've heard them all before. Can I just do one?
Given the occasion, feel free.
All right. These, oh dear, these, I've chosen some inappropriate ones, I think. Okay, just one for you then. Why are people cutting back on Brussels sprouts this Christmas? Which is a nice little reference, isn't it, to British love of Brussels sprouts?
Gastronomical problem. I can't think why.
Not bad at all there, John. The cost of gas is too high. Yeah, okay. The joke, says Glenn, but the kids love the little gifts. Yeah, okay, let's not do any more of those jokes. The jokes are usually horrible, says Havley. They often don't pop. Lots of disappointment around Christmas crackers, I think, generally speaking, for people this evening. So perhaps a tradition we won't be bringing too hastily to Portugal.
Maybe better to listen to Brazilian jokes about Portuguese.
I would love to hear those, but maybe now's not the time, right? Perhaps this is not the.
I'll pay attention this Christmas, and then when I have some stored, I'll bring them on to the next show when we do another podcast call. So
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, but I think the Brazilians have a funny relationship definitely with Portuguese, but they tend to also really appreciate, like, you find so much stuff from Portuguese cuisine, the olive oil, it's everywhere, like, you know. And so, yeah, there's definitely there's a connection, no doubt.
Right.
What are you going to say, Jerry? Sorry for interrupting.
No, I was going to say that you're far too polite to tell a joke about Portuguese.
Kieran is also on YouTube tonight. Gary, Suze, thank you for all your contributions over there. And our friends from Expats Everywhere, Josh and Kaylee. Saying Merry Christmas, everyone, as well, to the community here. Carl,
I think James had his hand up.
Go on, James.
I just had a question regarding drinking. Is eggnog a thing, or in Portugal, or what's the other one? Grog, mulled wine. Is anything special the drink for the season in Portugal, or is it just always just port?
Any kind of good wine, but not eggnog. Yeah, usually after the dinner, we at least in my family, we always have port wine. It's like a Christmas taste. You need to cheers with the port wine, and in the New Year's with champagne.
Yeah,
all the rest we drink a lot of wine, and well, you know already.
Basically alcohol, really.
Yeah.
Bring your own eggnog. Havley's not happy about that. And yeah, James, maybe you bring your own eggnog, or you can make it, can't you? Is it a concoction of egg and what's the liquor in it?
Camel spit.
Yes, of course. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. It's quite a similar texture, isn't it? I think. Or avocado as well. But I'm sure you can get that, can't you, in Portugal? Okay. So any other messages anybody wants to share? Now's the time.
I have a question for Jury and for yourself, Carl.
Yeah.
It's our second year here in Alvo, and I'm still having a problem getting my head around the Portuguese wine. Because I do find it compared, say, to France and other countries, it's quite a strong wine.
Yeah.
The red wine I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And would you recommend one which is not as high in not the 14.5, but the 12% mark? Is there somewhere you can buy that stuff?
You're talking about like the Touriga Nacional and Barga grapes, aren't you? Which are pretty heavy in the mix often. And I think you're right. Portuguese red can be quite full-bodied. I can't answer that question. I'm going to defer to Jerry or our Portuguese.
No, I can't. No.
We're quite happy. We're quite happy with the full-bodied red. What if Paul wants something a bit lighter, Anna? What brand might?
I would say either Lisbon wines or in some Alentejo wines, because if you go down the Douro alley, then it's a strong wines, 13-14%. But you have some not so strong wines in the region of Lisbon, but I don't like it, to be honest. I rather drink a good Douro. So I cannot recommend it. I cannot vouch for it, but keep a look on wines from the Lisbon region.
Yeah.
Looks like we'll have to test them all then, eh?
Yes, that's the way. That's the spirit. It's a research project. Research project for you now, Paul. But yeah, that's a good tip, isn't it? Lisbon district.
Port.
Yeah, go on.
Do you drink port just after dinner, or do you drink it how
anytime you want?
Or during it
with dinner?
In my house, we drink it before and after.
Okay, but not
before
during,
with a little bit of cheese, for instance, because we like it, and after because it's like when you stay 3 hours on the table just talking about life, and you can drink port wine.
But generally not with your meal.
No. Unless you want to drop dead, it's better not.
Well, it was my favorite.
It's okay. It's okay to have 3 or 4 glasses afterwards, but don't have one in between.
No, but we drink small glasses, not a big wine glass. No, but it's up to you if you like it. I can advise you a very good try, which is, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no.
Which is, if you like strong cheese, you need to try Serra da Estrela cheese with port wine. And if possible, you can add it Pão de Ló.
Somebody has to write this in the
which is three ingredients that are amazed together. Okay.
Please write.
What is the last one, Anna? What did you call
it? Pão de Ló. You know the one that is not good cooked. You know the one that is melted. The cake.
Oh yeah.
I will write it down here. It's a 3 ingredient.
You need a 4th ingredient there, Anna. You need something a little sweet, maybe a little chutney, or maybe a mango chutney or something, and then that would be perfect.
Okay.
Right?
Honey.
Right. Yeah.
Port was my favorite drink as a teenager, but I don't think I knew how to drink it, so I just drank it all the time.
Definitely. It can be quite a hangover. Yeah, it can give
for those of us with lighter wine taste, you can always go to France or Italy.
Yes, that's true. Yes, yeah.
Well, I care because we're Expats Portugal, not Expats France.
Point of order, Chairman. Point of order, Chairman. But we'll allow it. It will allow it if you bring us back a bottle, okay?
We had a wine tasting group, and we love the heavier, bolder wines. And every time we served them, we had a couple people in the group who are very conservative wine drinkers, and they grew up on French and Italian wines and things like that. And they would kind of look down their nose at the big, bold wines that we loved. So we know from where that comes.
Yes. Yeah. No, well said. And thank you for being here. What's your plan? When will you be here and tasting the bold wines of Portugal?
Oh, well, our next trip is planned for this January. We're coming on the 18th. We're starting in Porto, working our way down the country, and we'll end up in the Algarve. and we put about 5 weeks behind us there on the entire trip.
Yeah.
And we're looking for someplace comfy to live.
Fantastic. That's a lovely home you've got there as well. Something like that on the Algarve would be superb.
Thank you. We love the blue New Mexico skies in the wintertime. We'll probably miss that terribly.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank Nuno's going. Thank you, Nuno. Nuno needs to go. Thank you so much, Nuno.
So sorry. I really need to go, but I see
Thanks
you all
again for
next
saving
time.
my life last week, Nuno. You're a star.
Not true. Not true.
Life
Not true.
insurance. Cheers, Nuno, and thank you for your
So cheers.
greeting earlier
I
on.
see you. I wish you all a very good and pleasant and warm Christmas time. So
The
stay
same to
safe.
you, Nuno.
Thank
See
you.
you next time.
Thank you and your family.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, Nuno. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Fantastic, Nuno. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All the best to you and yours as well.
Okay.
Wonderful. I think we've got a few more questions and comments, and Casa Brand wants to come back to us. Hello.
Hi, Carl. I need some linguistic and historical background. I made before putting this into context. I don't ever drink beer or tea. I don't do wine. I don't do port. I don't do whiskey or any of that stuff. But I do like good beer, as I've had a conversation with this Carl. I want a translation for what used to be called in England the offie.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit more posh, the off license. What
Yes.
is it called in, we're in, where are we?
Caldish.
Caldish. And I don't know what to look for when I want to go shopping.
Estado Liquido is your shop to go to there in Caldash. But generally speaking, is it a Garrafeira, Anna and Daniel?
The
Oh, sorry.
what? The name of the store
bottle-
to buy
yeah,
bottle?
is it Garrafeira?
Garrafeira.
Garrafeira.
Garrafeira. Yeah.
Your bottle
The-
shop, really, isn't
The
it?
store where you can buy wines or drinks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what, we've been going to the local,
Grocery store.
and this is it. That's all we've got.
You look a bit. You sound disappointed, John. You can't be saying that.
Trying to broaden
I am
his
a tad.
horizons.
There are other indie breweries in Caldas, but Estado Liquido
Don't
is the
get me
most
wrong, I love
amazing
Portuguese
shop
beer.
I've been to. It's the most amazing wine shop I've ever been to in my life, and it's mainly a wine shop. But I noticed they did have some beers in there and craft beers from around the country.
Well, we're drinking this Sagres thing, and that's what you get on the airplane. So you know it's not very good, right?
Okay, fair enough. We'll help. We will help. You've got to be careful. You mustn't slag off the top two beers, Superbock and Sagres.
Try Superbock, it's way better.
Oh, there we go.
Try the other one, Superbock, he said.
Oh, okay. Thank
We'll
you.
try that.
It's got a little bit more going on, hasn't it?
Have that last
I'm good.
this year, but
I'm good with the wine.
I'm just happy not to have seen Budweiser, but that's a negative. But now that I've got something to look for, it's a help. Thank you.
There are beer fans on the Expats Portugal forum.
Yeah.
Put something up on the forum, and you will get other beery fans jumping on and telling you what to try here for sure.
Yeah. It's actually I'm not. I have to say I'm not a fan of Portuguese beers. I find them too gassy. I'm an Irishman, so I like a good pint of Guinness, but I also like a good pint of English bitter, traditional English beer.
Right.
And very hard things to get. I mean, I'm sure Paul will tell me now where you can get great Guinness in the Algarve, but I'm not in the Algarve. So I just don't drink beer in Portugal. I find it too hard to.
Oh, okay.
During the Algarve, in Alvo, we've got 11 Irish bars. So you would love it.
Yeah.
Hear them before
Paul, an Irish bar doesn't, to an Irishman, an Irish bar is not some bar where they hang up a bicycle and play diddly-ida music and call it an Irish bar.
Is it a bit like McDonald's being an American restaurant, Jerry?
Yeah. But I agree, you can get good Guinness in those places. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, a couple more questions there before we conclude. Barak, we missed this earlier on. Any ideas about Hanukkah and some of the Jewish holidays in Portugal? I don't know. Others might here, though. Can anyone else help with Barak's question there about Jewish holidays and celebration of Hanukkah in Portugal?
I don't know any. Sorry, Danielle.
There's a Jewish community actually in Cascais. I think it's the
there's
strongest one
always,
in Portugal. But in Lisbon or in other places of the country, you don't have strong Jewish traditions at the current moment, unfortunately. And apart from Cascais, I don't know any other places that do celebrate Jewish holidays.
Okay,
Yeah,
so not,
here they celebrate. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Jewish history, isn't there, in Portugal? Like the oldest synagogue in Tomar, that's history.
Here
not
the
living-
mayor always participates. There's the lightning thing, the event, and there's a big community. So you have the Christmas tree and you have the Hanukkah, the lights. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it. I don't want to mistake, but there's a big event here as well.
Okay, thank you for that, Anna.
And you're right, Carl. I think we do have the oldest synagogue in Portugal is in Tomar.
Yeah, but believe that's the case.
But how strong? I don't think there's a very strong Jewish community. I'm not aware that there's a Jewish community in Tomar, but there is a synagogue.
Yes. Okay, there you go, Barak. I think Denise missed her mum's mince pies. Mrs. M is making mince pies this year. Might be able to put one aside for you. Might not, however, depending on how good they are, Denise, this year. And you're sharing a Christmas cracker joke with us. What did Mrs. Klaus say to Santa when she saw their Christmas tree? You should spruce it up a little. And it's exactly what we were saying, wasn't it, about Christmas cracker jokes? I don't have a groaning jingle here, but Jerry did that for us, I think, there. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for the online Christmas party. So fun, says Sandy. I'll be happily spending my Christmas listening to Christmas music and continuing to pack in order to move to wonderful Portugal. So excited. I'll add some good wine, Christmas cookies, chocolate, etc. Look forward to meeting you all soon. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Sandy. Igualmente. Right back at you and to you and yours there. Pork with cheese, with pudding, and on its own, says Glenn. Glenn knows a thing or two as well. Paul Delal, that is in the chat there for anybody who wants that. Won't miss eggnog, says Jean, any more than I will miss snow. So others not missing snow. And glad that you don't have to shovel rain, I think you said as well, Jean. Queijo de Serra, Vinho de Porto, and Pau de Ovar there was that Holy Trinity that Anna mentioned as well. And lovely message from Nunu in the chat there if you want to take a look. Calcada was useful, I think, for Haverley. Or I hope we're saying that right. Stepping on other people's toes whilst tango dancing there. Garafeira is the off license, the offie, John, the off sales. Superbock all the way from Glenn. And sounds like a good idea for a business, importing good beer. To be fair, there are some really great craft breweries here. And typically, though, Portugal's top thing is not marketing. So whilst there are many good beers here, you do need the word of mouth and you need Portuguese friends. So go out and make some. And Cascais was the answer to your question, Barak, about which city. They do sell Corona here, which makes me happy. As a beer, that's probably got a mixed response from John, I suspect. And does anybody else want to jump on and say anything? Oh, Jerry, you go ahead, please.
Well, thank you, Carl. First of all, I just want to respond to Barak, who's asked a couple of times about he's coming over and he's starting in Coimbra. Barak, drop me an email. You can see my email address below my screen here, and I'll be glad to hook up with you. I live not so far from Coimbra. I live between Coimbra and Tomar, so I'll be delighted to hook up with you and tell you whatever I can about life in Portugal. And secondly, I just want to sort of bring the evening to an end, and I want to say thank you to all our members, especially all our premium members who help us to sustain our business. We have lots to do still. We've lots of new things rolling out next year. And we hope that everything will continue as it is now. We've built a great community of people. We love working with you all, and it's been great fun. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'd also like to thank our Portuguese friends who are here tonight. Normally, they're coming on to promote their businesses. And apart from Daniel, who did a little sales pitch earlier, no one else has done that tonight. But we'll forgive Daniel because he was asked a question. So it's again, yeah. So it's yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'm joking. But and thank you all, and Jacqueline from connecting from all the way from Brazil. when you said it's 35 degrees outside. That's wonderful. So we really appreciate having you here. It's been our pleasure to work with you all throughout 2022, and we look forward to lots more of the same and even more throughout 2023. I also like to thank Carl for all his good work on our behalf, and look forward to doing it all again next year. And
Cheers.
happy Christmas, everybody.
Great job, Jerry. Thank